Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, where ordinary heroes tell extraordinary stories during unique and never been heard before conversations with your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Hilary's unique listening and way of asking questions results in conversations that aren't usually talked about, so you can create the life that you really want but are afraid you can't really have. We are demonstrating the greatness in the human spirit and creating a world where we all reclaim our birthright of joy, happiness, purpose, and passion. Now, here's your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, and today we have a very special guest. His name is Dr. K. Narayan. He has a PhD in quantum physics and has been on the spiritual path since 1996. Through advanced energetic practices, he became a channel for Divine Mother, the source of the divine feminine. With assistance from Divine Mother, he creates energetic tools for spiritual transformation. He is the founder of Children of Infinity, a nonprofit community dedicated to empowering light workers. Welcome, Dr. K.
Thank you, Hilary.
So we met, can I just say, we met in a spiritual mastery course given by MindValley. We connected, and Dr. K, I think he reached out to be on the show, but then he told me about what he was doing with his organization, Children of Infinity. They were having a 7-day, it was free, 7-day healing course, right?
Yes.
And so it just called to me and I did it, and I've been participating with his organization ever since. And it just felt like that was the right place for me. And I'm very grateful. I'm very inspired by what he has done. And I think once you hear his story, you will be too. So thank you for letting me say that. And I guess I know you said your first spiritual, when you read the autobiography of a yogi, was when you first got your eyes opened. Anything you want to say about that?
Sure.
I never read that book, but I might get it after.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the journey began for me in 1996 when I was just a high school kid. And that's when I read this book called Autobiography of a Yogi. Now, before that point, I was just doing regular things. Go to college, go to school actually to get an education so that I could go to college, get a job, live a normal life. But after reading the book, my worldview changed because I suddenly realized that there is more to life than just doing the normal stuff that society teaches you to do. And that's where my quest for enlightenment began. And that was the beginning of my journey 30 years ago on the spiritual path.
So, okay. So I know you, you read it and you got what? Enlightened, however you say it. You were woken up. And then, but you still went to college, right? But
Yes.
then, and tell me if I'm saying your story. I was just reading it to try to remember. You saw quantum physics,
Yes.
right? You were studying physics, and then you found quantum physics, and you were like, ooh, this could be good, right? So,
Yes.
all right, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I started reading a lot more about consciousness and yoga and meditation after reading that book because he talked about enlightenment, and that's what I wanted. So I started exploring different tools, whatever tools were there available in India. And through reading lots of books, that also inspired me to start looking into science. So I got my bachelor's in engineering physics, and then I came here to the US to get a PhD in quantum physics. And the whole journey is, I got so excited when this was first year in college. We had this course on quantum physics, and there's a mystical aspect to quantum physics, which is, if you look at classical physics versus quantum physics, there are so many things which are, even now, we don't fully understand quantum physics. And that's what inspired me to pursue a degree in quantum physics, which I eventually got a degree. I got a PhD in physics from the University of Texas at Austin. So that was I would say, the conceptual foundation for my work that was to come later.
So then, you learned programming. Was that
Yes.
still during that time?
Yes. So
Or-
while getting the degree, I think this was last year last year during my degree, I got married, and then I started thinking about how do I support my family. So at that time, I also got the inspiration to leave the academic world and actually work in the corporate world. And at that time, I didn't understand it. But looking back, now I understand that that was exactly the right environment I needed to learn about leadership, which would show up much later in my life.
But
So
you
after getting the PhD, I started working for a corporation. And that's when I think in 2011, I had an awakening, which was the Kundalini awakening.
Okay, one second. I'm writing that down so we don't forget where we are. But you had like a something to learn programming, right? Because that wasn't part of physics.
Yes.
You just had that thing. Now I know now you develop all your websites. I mean, you do an amazing job with that. To me, I don't know if you're the one doing all that, but it's an incredible website. It works. It's simple. You know, we get your email. Like it is that all you from what you learned?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think, my opinion, that's why you were guided to learn programming. So
Yes.
you could create all this, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So my path is I got the conceptual framework with the PhD, but then working in the programming world, that's where I got the actual hands-on experience rather than just the academic experience. And that was valuable for me when I started this nonprofit.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So 1996, you read the book. You got to America
2003.
2003. Okay. And then where did you meet your wife? Here or
Yes.
in Texas? Is that where you met?
So we met through family friends.
Okay. Was it
So
arranged?
it was not arranged I mean, it wasn't completely arranged, but it
Yeah.
wasn't completely like what they call love marriages in India.
Okay.
So it was an introduction, but we connected and then we got married in 2008.
Okay.
So she was getting her master's in biotechnology at that time in Boston. I was in Texas. I was getting my PhD, and that's when we got married.
Oh. So where did you go? So is that when you went to New York? Like
So
somewhere in the middle?
after graduation in 2010 is when I went to New York.
Okay. So did she leave Boston to get married? Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. And then you had kids. Okay. So then you go to New York, you're in the big world, the corporate world, and had you left the mystical piece behind, or you were still doing stuff like until you had the Kundalini? We're getting there, but till you had the Kundalini, had you forgotten about it? You were just chasing the corporate, or was it always still there?
Well, it was always there. In fact, what happened in 2000 when I started the job, I was excited because as a grad student, I was poor. Then I get this job. This is a 6-figure starting salary. I said, man, what an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
And I started working, and it was really exciting at the beginning. But then gradually, there was an emptiness in what I was doing.
Mm.
And that emptiness began to grow. And then finally in 2011, just before the awakening, I would say, at a low point where I was actually depressed. Because I thought all my life I have meditated, I have pursued the spiritual path, but what am I doing now? I'm just a salary man working for a corporation. What's the point of this life?
Right.
And I think that low point is what triggered the awakening in 2011.
Okay. So tell us about the awakening now.
So this is, I experienced the awakening the way Kundalini works is it's an intelligent energy which is present in every human being, just like the DNA. So if you look at the body, it is created by this molecule, which is called the DNA. It has its own intelligence because a single molecule can create the entire body. How amazing is that? Now, there is a spiritual intelligence similar to the DNA, that's Kundalini, except it doesn't come activated when we are born. It has to be activated through spiritual work and seeking and all the spiritual practices. So for me, when it awakened, suddenly I could experience the world other than the five senses. I could start seeing energy moving in my body, and then I would see energy moving in my spine up and down. I could also, for a couple of days, it was very intense, where I slept only maybe a few hours a day, and I ate a fraction of my diet. Yeah, and I was just meditating like 20 hours a day. But the effect kind of wore off in, I think it was a week or so. After a week, it was manageable. For a week, it was insane. Then it was manageable.
Were you working? Were you going to work, or
I was going to work, but I took time off because I couldn't work. So I said, okay, let me stay home. People are going to be they're going to be worried if I go to job in this condition. So I took I think I
what
took
was it like? Like it just started? You just started feeling this energy, like
yeah,
like out of nowhere? Wow. Like
I
you could see
wouldn't
it?
say it's out of nowhere, but because I've been meditating for all these 30 years, so
Or
I think it was an accumulation of this practice. Plus, it was also that point in my life where I was really desperate.
Mm,
So it was an act of grace, I guess.
yeah. But I mean, were you like saying, please help me, I need something, or it just started? Like,
So there was a special meditation I was doing at that time.
okay.
I've been doing different kinds of meditation. This is something specific to Kundalini meditation.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you were in that zone.
Yes.
Yeah. It didn't just like all of a sudden you're sitting at work and all of a sudden it starts without
Yes.
knowing what Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, so after that, so that was 2011. So what did you do after that?
After that, I went within. So my meditations became deeper and deeper. So for 8 years, that was pretty much, I would meditate for an hour a day at least. And then rest of it was external things of my life. They were going as normal. So I still had a job. I got promoted. I started managing a team. Then we had kids. So the usual stuff of a regular life on the outside, except there was this meditation on the inside.
Okay. Did you do it in the morning or the night?
Yes, right after waking up. That's been my practice for all this time.
So you felt different on the inside, but your
Yes.
life on the outside had not changed yet.
Yes,
Okay.
not much.
And you were happy with that?
Yeah, there was a sense of peace that came over me right after the awakening because I was almost depressed before the awakening. But after the awakening, even though my job didn't change, I had this sense of peace that I was not attached to what was going on in my life on the outside.
Wow. Cool. Okay. So good. I think I have that today.
Yes.
So I'll just let the audience know. In parentheses, I've had this job for 18 years and I stepped down from one of the positions because it just wasn't feeling like it was my place anymore. And it was hard. It's hard to let go. I told Dr. K, it was like letting go of a bad boyfriend. But you want to hold on because it's better than nothing, but it's not good for you. So finally today, whew.
Congratulations. And that's the step. Maybe we'll talk more about this in the talk, but this journey, human journey, is a partnership between we as human beings and the universe. And the only way this partnership works is that we take cues from the universe and we take certain steps in the right direction. So with this step, you have told the universe that you are ready for something more. And I can guarantee you something more will come.
Thank you. You know, I was really afraid that it wouldn't.
Yes.
And I was walking yesterday and because I knew I was having this meeting, and I realized I was afraid and that I thought nothing good would happen. Then I realized, oh, wait, that's the ego. It's supposed to do that.
Yes.
And what we've learned is that I don't know where I learned it, but maybe from you, maybe from someone else I interviewed, but that the antidote to the ego, to all that judgment and hopelessness and comparison and doubt and worry about the future and agonizing about the past, is love.
Yes.
So that's what I tried to step into today. And faith and belief. Like, why couldn't it happen? It happens for others. And why not be in wonder and awe instead of allowing the ego to tell me, well, that was stupid, should have held on, idiot. But, I don't have to listen to it. I can love instead. So that's what I've been practicing. Yeah. So, okay. So there you were, 8 years. We're back to you now. 8 years. You have this peace. And then what happened? I know what happened, but I want you to tell them what happened. Like, what ruined your peace? You had some peace going, Yeah.
So 2019, that's when I began to get this inspiration. And it was a very strong inspiration that I should do something more, that I should do something to elevate the consciousness of the planet. Now, at that time...
Can I just ask, because sorry for interrupting, but I know like people say they have nudges, and just in case anybody out there is having that, like I was having it to quit, but I was still holding on. Like, what did that inspiration feel like? Was it in your body? Was someone talking? Like, how did you know? And I know you were clear. So I'm like, okay, how was it so clear? And how did you not go, not for me? Because I know you had a lot of reasons. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you. I would say pay attention to the synchronicities around you. I think that's the first sign where suddenly certain things start appearing in your life. For me, what happened was I had a friend who I went to college with a long time ago. I was not in touch with him. Suddenly, he pops up on my Facebook feed, and I find out that he moved to Germany and he started a free yoga in the park kind of community where people would come together, they would do yoga. And something in me stirred. I thought, wow, what a beautiful way to live, where he's making a difference in the world, he's creating a community. And I thought, I would love to do that.
Oh.
That was the nudge. Now, as soon as I thought of that, there came the voice of ego. First of all, I was extremely busy at that time, managing a programming team with 2 kids. Life was very busy.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger problem was, I thought, I'm just a software engineer. Who is going to listen to me talk about spirituality? That doesn't make any sense.
I know, it's amazing. And that English was your third language?
English is my third language. I am an extreme introvert, or at least I used to be.
Right.
Talking to people has never been my thing. Computers and physics are my thing because I can deal with equations and concepts and programming, but not people. So there were too many things kind of stacked against me, and I was in a comfortable place. I didn't need to rock the boat. I didn't have time. I had these deep insecurities about I'll be laughed at. People will make fun of my accent. They will not understand me. All these things were there. But at the same time, that voice of inspiration was very strong. It was so strong that I said, okay, just to get this off my back, I should do something, right? Sometimes
was it talking to you? Like how was it strong?
It was in my head, pretty much.
It was, okay.
That
you were hearing it.
This is something I should do. I should figure things out. I should create a community. I should share what I have learned so far. So I said, okay, let me do something. And that's when I created a group on meetup.com, which is where people can come together. This was in New York. And I said, I'm going to talk about spirituality from the perspective of science, and let's see if people show up. So that was my whole thing. So
So
in that first,
yeah. Well, I love that. I mean, no, most people don't talk about spirituality. What is it in
from the
terms?
scientific perspective,
Yeah, from a science perspective, I would think people would be fascinated, but I don't know if people. I don't think people were doing it then that
no,
much,
this
right?
was, yeah. So let me tell you the rest of the story.
Okay, sorry.
So this was early. I didn't even know if anybody would show up, but few dozen people actually did show up, and they were interested, and they said, let's have it again. And they had more questions. They wanted to connect more. They wanted to connect as a community. So that very first meeting gave me ideas that there is a need for what I have to offer.
And was it in person?
No, it was all online. I think there was a webinar platform at that point. I don't even remember the name. This
Was
is
it?
pre-Zoom.
And so people just like you just posted the meetup and they came.
Yes.
That's amazing because I've tried so many things where I thought no one came, so I'm like, that's amazing. Like it's amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
That obviously you had a different energy than I've ever had, but okay, so good. So they came. How many people came?
I think there were like 40 people.
Whoa, that's incredible. There was a story in the book where there was a guy who nobody showed up, but that wasn't you. I
No.
think it was in the book. You use it as an example, I thought,
Yes, yes, yes. That was
yeah,
on leadership. Yes,
but that was not you. Okay, good.
that wasn't me.
I didn't think that was your story. Okay. All right. So 40 people came and they said, we got to do this again. And you were
Yes.
like, okay. Like,
Right.
did
So
you
I said,
still feel
okay, if
insecure?
that's what
Well,
people want, we can do that.
so you did another one.
Yes. So I did another one, and this is right before the COVID pandemic. So as soon as I started this group, I think a month out, there was the lockdown. And then suddenly this thing called Zoom popped up. Uh, and I could connect to anybody in the world. So I said, wow, this is insane. I'm at the right place at the right time. So I started connecting with people. And then I started thinking about how to grow the organization. And in pretty much in a couple of months, there was a huge explosion in this community. And that's when I knew that I had to do something bigger than just this local group. So that was my higher self nudging me that you need to be at this place at this time so that you can take advantage of this opportunity of COVID. There was a huge awakening in terms of spiritual awareness and people going within during that COVID time.
So how did they find you? Just Facebook or like,
No, so I
how did,
started, so Meetup had an option at that point where you could start hosting virtual events in other cities.
oh,
So I said, okay, this is the perfect time. So I started putting the events out there in all of US. And then slowly people found out from other countries, Canada and UK.
okay. So then you just kept doing events. What kind of events were they?
So the events I started with, these were mostly just understanding spirituality from a scientific perspective. That was the focus instead of religion.
Right. Okay. And did you branch out to meditations and stuff?
Yes. So that's when, after a while, I said, okay, I need to create a nonprofit organization, really think about what I have to offer. And that's when I started this nonprofit called Children of Infinity. And I think that was the next step. As soon as I started that organization, then doors started opening for me so that I could do more. So when I started as a spiritual teacher. There is nothing wrong with that, except I found that when people come on the spiritual path, the thing they need the most is not knowledge, they need healing.
Mm.
Except that I wasn't a healer.
Oh.
I said, I need to find somebody who can teach me how to heal. And that's when I started exploring. And pretty soon I run into my teacher. His name is John Chandler. He's a direct disciple of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who started Transcendental Meditation movement. And I connected with John.
How did you find him? How did you meet him?
It's I don't even remember. I think I went to some website. Then I started looking into remote energy healing. Then there was a link to John's website, I guess, and he talked about Divine Mother. And I said, "This sounds a little crazy." But let me see if this guy is real, because I was skeptical at that point. And I remember the first time I connected with him, I asked him, "How do you heal?" And his answer was, "I work with Divine Mother and I create tools that people can use to heal themselves." And when I heard that, I said, this guy must be crazy, because I have never heard of any human being saying they work with the divine. Mostly it's about praying to the divine and hoping that you get what you need.
Right.
So in terms of a worldview, he was at a completely different place compared to where I was. He was working with Divine Mother, and I was skeptical, but then I said, "Okay, teach me what you have." So he said, "Take this initiation. This is a transmission of energy from Divine Mother. And once you take the initiation, you'll experience the energy." So I took that class and I understood what he had. He had something that is extremely rare.
So, okay, you took the class, and so you experienced the transmissions, and you knew that it was real.
Yes.
How did you know? You just knew.
It's just your body. I mean, I could go into a different dimension pretty much. When I was in that energy field, my sense of self expanded so much. I knew this is real. This is true spiritual technology.
Wow. Because I know, like in your book, have we showed them your book yet? Well, it's here. Well, all the places you talk about, you can either ride a bike to California from New York, or you can take a plane. And that this kind of energy or meditation is the plane.
Yes.
Because it's not, tell me if I'm saying it wrong. You're not trying to, like in regular meditation, you're trying to quiet your thinking and and you didn't have a lot of progress. But when you started with this, you did. You had a lot quicker.
Yes.
Like what changed?
Yes, thank you. Great question. So when we do the regular meditation, that's contemplative meditation, where we use the mind to hopefully change the patterns. So we are using the mind to change the mind. And that's okay, but it's also very slow, because you have to become aware, you have to analyze your thoughts, you have to try to quiet it down. You might do some self-inquiry, and all of that is good. And I did that for a long time in my life. And I did see some progress, but I didn't see transformation. Okay. When I started working with Divine Mother's energy, what I understood is that the mind itself is a creation of underlying patterns, just like a software running a computer. If you see a computer, you see certain things on a computer, you don't try to change that on the screen by painting something different. You go to the deeper layer of what is creating that, you go to the cause, and these causes are called samskaras in the yogic tradition. So samskaras are like programs that keep running. If you think about what makes a human being the way they are, it's because of all the patterns of how they think, how they behave, what they like, what they don't like, right? It's all of programming that becomes automatic over time.
Is that the subconscious?
It's something even below the subconscious.
Below it, okay.
This is the root of karma. What we know as karma. Karma is not just what you do and then result what you get. Karma is the basic programming of how a human being is put together. If you think about why do some people like alcohol a lot versus some people don't like alcohol at all? Because there is an underlying programming that makes people attracted to certain things and not attracted to other things.
So I've heard of the subconscious, I've heard of the, what do they call it? The non-conscious or the something like, so
Collective conscious, yeah.
is that located any place, or it's just part of our energy? Like, where does
So there's a
that?
universal field of energy.
Okay.
You can call it any name, but I'm talking specifically about a human being.
Okay.
So a human being is created from this energy field, but they have their own imprint of the energy.
Huh. Okay.
It's like you can take clay and you can make different things from clay, right? You can make an animal, you can make a human being, you can make different things. That clay has become concrete and it has taken a shape. And that's how human beings are. We have certain tendencies, and these tendencies have been collected over a long period of time, not just this lifetime, but many, many lifetimes, if people believe in reincarnation.
So it's just something inside us.
Yes, it's the core of what makes us who we are. It's the programmatic pattern
Wow.
that runs itself and creates the behaviors and tendencies that we have.
So it's not like it's our fault or we did something to get them. They just were there.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have been accumulated over a period of time, which might be like, for example, we pick up certain patterns in childhood because we don't know how to cope with things, right?
Yeah.
So that's a very simple example. Unless we examine that pattern, we will keep running that pattern. But after we become aware, how do we change it? And that's where you can either do meditation, you can do breath work, you can do lots of things, or you can have this advanced technology that can work directly with your samskaras, the underlying pattern, and it can begin to change the foundation of who you are. And that's what I experienced with John.
So it works on your energy. You don't have to think it.
Yes.
Not in your thinking. It's just, wow. That's amazing. What was a transformation that you had?
So my life completely changed in, I would say, 2 years after coming across John and working with Divine Mother's energy. The changes that I experienced. So first thing is I began to channel that energy. And that's how I started creating these meditations, which people just listen to and they begin to change from within.
Wow.
And there are different levels of this channeling ability through meditations, through consciously channeling, vocally channeling, all these things. This is where I also began to kind of receive and download things that I needed. So including the meditations, this book that I wrote, the idea for this book and another book that I created, it all came as a download where I got pretty much the blueprint of the book. I didn't have the exact details, but I got the blueprint that I should create something which is a step-by-step approach. There are steps in this journey. These are the steps. And then I took some time to expand on them, but this is something that I just received.
Wow. Wow. All right. I hate to take our break here because this is so fascinating, but all right, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor, and then we'll continue where we left off. So thank you. This is fascinating. Okay.
What if school could be a place where every child feels safe to be themselves? Right now, kids are growing up in a complicated world. They're learning how to listen, how to care, and how to find their voice. Kokori's daily digital calendar of research-backed lessons helps children build confidence, empathy, and resilience through joyful play-based learning. When children feel connected and supported, they don't just learn more, they grow into kinder, braver humans. Kokori, helping kids grow together.
Hey, it's Hilary from the Getting Real with Hilary show. Life can be messy, raw, and real. And sometimes we're afraid to feel vulnerable. We're afraid to be that real self. Well, that's exactly what the Getting Real with Hilary show and Getting Real movement is all about. Being our true selves. Every week, I bring you stories of transformation, authenticity, and hope. People getting real with their struggles, their faith, and their breakthroughs. So don't miss a thing. Subscribe to my weekly newsletter today. You'll get stories, links to everything new, and how to create a life you love every week directly to your inbox. You can also find my books on Amazon. My courageous and riveting memoir, The Second Piece of French Toast, in case you feel stuck in your life and want to get inspired. How I came out about my no sex life and my marriage, and my second book, Real Talk. That one will get you speaking up in ways you've been too afraid to do so, and really creating amazing freedom. And my third book, How to Stop Fixing Yourself and Start Having Fun, the name is called Your Bullshit is Your Blessing. Find links to everything and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Getting Real with Hilary, and you'll find the links in the header. So, visit, and you can also visit gettingrealwithhilary.com because the real you is worth it and wants to come out. Hey friends, it's Hilary, and I want to share something that genuinely shifted how I see modern and contemporary art, and honestly, how I see the world. If you've ever felt like modern or contemporary art just wasn't for you, like you were supposed to understand it before you could enjoy it, you're not alone. And that's exactly what Robin Jameson turns upside down. Through innovative tours, talks, trainings, and educational programs, Robin doesn't explain art or tell you what to think. She guides you into actually experiencing it, personally, directly, and in a way that is powerful, moving, and even life-altering. She's also the author of The Magic of Modern Art, How to Love Modern and Contemporary Art. And what she shows people is this: you already have an innate affinity for all types of art. Through Robin's work, you are awakened to more than just a new, confident, and joyful relationship with art. You begin to see everything with fresh eyes, feeling more curious, open, and alive in the world. If you're looking to create a powerful, memorable experience for yourself, museum, organization, or community, visit magicofmodernart.com. or email Robin, R-O-B-Y-N, at magicofmodernart.com and discover what's possible when art and life truly come alive. Thank you, as always, to our sponsors. We appreciate your generosity and for making this show possible. And if you've seen the logos going underneath, those are our sponsors as well, besides the commercials. And now we're back to Dr. K to find out more about this fascinating stuff. It's so cool. Now, were you the only one who learned this from John Chandler? Were you his only student, or were there other people learning this as well?
There were other people learning from him, working with him.
Okay.
But I committed myself 100% to learn everything he had to offer. I realized how unique his abilities were. And this was also in alignment with what I was trying to do.
Okay.
As I said, instead of being a teacher, I wanted to be a healer. I wanted to create transformation for people.
So that's why the 7-day course was healing.
Yes.
It wasn't meditation or anything like that. Wow. So would you say that's what you've been doing? Is healing more than teaching? Or
Yes.
both?
Yes. There are layers of transformation. People need knowledge, but then that knowledge has to be distilled into practices. That's the next layer. Then there's a next layer of identity where they need to see themselves as different from who they were before. And that's where this identity of a light worker comes into the play, where we are not on this planet just to consume and to control, but we are here to be the channels of light. And that's the identity shift. And then the innermost layer is the energy, which is we change the energy that we radiate in the world. So there are layers and layers of this transformation. What I do now is my focus is also on creating leaders of light, because if we want to change this planet, we need leadership. That's how we change the world. So we have courses. These are some advanced courses for people who want to be healers and leaders and teachers. So it's the organization is doing a lot in terms of just working with beginners to intermediate to advanced people.
Wow. So you had said, before we started that I don't know if you want to connect or create leaders in the spiritual domain. Do you want to talk a little about that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If you look at leadership, the kind of leadership we see around us is a very masculine, energy-driven leadership. And this kind of leadership comes from this is the kind of leadership I call tribal leadership, where there's a tribe, and who gets to be the leader in that tribe? The answer is the most strong man in that tribe, because he can protect everybody against threats. So this model of leadership has evolved in corporations, in military, in our political system, but this is what we see all around us. If we want to change this planet, we need a different kind of leadership, which is not tribal leadership. We need to have a spiritual leadership, where spiritually we see ourselves connected with the whole, where we are not just part of this tribe and our goal is to make our tribe better than somebody else's tribe, but we see ourselves as one whole, and we have to elevate everybody, not just win against another tribe. So that's the kind of leadership we'll be needing if we have to go to the next level in our evolution. So that's been my focus.
So are you looking to create leaders or connect with other
It's both.
leaders, or both?
It's both.
Both.
Some people are inspired. Now, a lot of women they don't think of themselves as leaders, because they see this masculine energy that's there in current leadership and they think, I can't do that. But feminine energy is exactly what we need to evolve as a race, where we have to have leadership driven by love and compassion and not just the results.
Wow. It's exactly what I left this morning. It's only about results. And you suck if you don't do it. And you're a loser. Really, that's what.
Yeah, and we keep destroying ourselves and others in the pursuit of results because we don't understand the whole.
Right. Okay, so let's say you created these leaders with feminine energy, love, and compassion. What would they be doing? I could just feel the energy shift when I said that. Wow. What would they be doing? Or is it not about doing? Is it just about being?
It is a balance of both energies. But what they will be doing is bringing light to planet, bringing light to people, empowering people the right way, not just controlling them. And what I want to also bring to the table is that leadership, when people think about leadership, they think about thinking as a leader. But just like everything else, leadership is actually an energetic thing where people are attracted to your energy. That's why they want to follow you. And they are willing to go through inconvenience to really be part of the mission that you have. If you look at leaders, so I started studying the real leaders of history, people like Gandhi and Lincoln and Martin Luther King Jr. And there is a very different way they think. There's a very different way they connect with people. They have a very strong sense of mission.
Mm.
And all of these things are energetic in nature. So my goal is to empower people, whether they are part of other organizations or however way they want to contribute. I want to give them some energies that I received from Divine Mother, which are specific to leadership.
Mm. Wow. So not the ones we've been doing,
Yes.
right? Not.
No, these are some advanced energies.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And when you say light workers, how would you describe them? You're creating light workers.
Yes. If you look at common human beings, they are pretty much concerned with themselves. Their whole life is around them, maybe a few family members, and that's the end of their concern. A light worker is, on the other hand, is concerned with how do we bring light to the planet, not just to me and my family, but to the entire planet. And that's the whole point of a light worker. Just like a wood worker or a metal worker
Mm-hmm.
who can take something raw and create something beautiful out of it. A light worker is concerned with, first of all, raising their own light and then helping others raise their consciousness. So it's the two-step journey where there's a lot of inner work, where we do these practices to raise our own consciousness first, because that's how we can empower. And then the second part is we figure out what's the best way for me to help others. It could be as a teacher or a healer or a leader, whatever way works for every person, that's different. But we have to figure something out that aligns with our soul purpose. And we have to cultivate our own gifts so that we can be the source of light for others.
So, do you have any of these light workers doing that? Like, can you give an example of how they're... So if they first they raise their own vibration, and then how have they brought it out, I guess, to the community or to the world? Yeah.
Yes.
Who's doing
Sure.
what?
Sure. I will give you an example. So there is a woman in my community. She took a yoga certification. She started doing yoga, but she never really did anything with it because she wasn't really sure of what to do. But after working with Divine Mother's energy, she created a variation of Kundalini Yoga, which directly transmits Divine Mother's energies. And that's what she offers to the community. So she was able to take her abilities to the next level, figure out how to use her gift to help others, and then started offering that.
And was she just kind of led, like through, like when you had the voice, she was kind of led to that?
Yes.
I mean, she already had the yoga certification, and then that came?
Yes. And the other example is other woman in our organization. She offers this Qigong, but this is not the regular Qigong that she had been practicing. One of the things I see a lot is when people start working with Divine Mother's energy, they get updated, they get upgraded to something more in terms of they get some direct attunements from Divine Mother, which helps them go to the next stage. So in both the cases, in Kundalini Yoga and Qigong, it's not just what they learned intellectually, it's they were guided to improve the practice and offer more and get it better attuned.
Wow. Whew. So part of me, it's like, not that it sounds too good to be true, but there's a part of me that has it's probably just the ego, but it's like, yeah, that won't happen for you. You know, like, good for them. Look at all the things you've tried. They haven't worked. Blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, I have that voice going on. But to just like surrender and allow the universe to work just seems like it'd be a lot more peaceful.
It's also about technology. We keep forgetting that spiritual evolution is also technology. It's not just ideas in our head. Just like the example of if you want to go from here to New York,
Yeah.
you can take a walk, or you can drive a car, or you can take a plane. If you take a plane, it doesn't take you that long. It doesn't take you that much effort.
Right.
So it's all about technology. So Divine Mother's technology, this is very different from what most people have experienced. And the way this works is, if you think of the human brain, people think that the most useful faculty of the brain is to think,
Mm.
but that's not true. The highest faculty of the brain is to receive.
Mm.
And if we can receive what is already there in this infinite information field that we call the universe, it knows what we are capable of. It knows how we can contribute. It knows what our capabilities are. There is a lot of knowledge in this universe.
Right. So why do we think we have to figure it out and think
Because
about it?
that's how this masculine energy
Oh, okay.
works. It's all about figuring out. It's very logical.
Yeah. And
And
so the feminine is different. How?
it's intuitive.
Oh. Okay. So you
Where,
kind of have to put the masculine,
yes, we have to
take a
learn.
nap. Take a nap. I'm going over here for a little while, and with the intuitive, it's a lot more gentle and peaceful over there, right? Like
Right, right.
the other one is just it's exhausting.
Yes. It's very ego driven, where the ego has to figure everything out, and it has to create a plan, and a 5-year plan, and then you have to go through the plan. But it doesn't work in this world, especially today, where everything is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Even if you create the best plan, it's going to be out of the window pretty soon.
Right.
So you have to learn how to tap within
Yeah.
and access the wisdom that's already there.
Wow. Woo. That's really cool. All right. So why don't we discuss your book, and if people want to find out more about your journey and what you're talking about, that's what you were talking about before. I don't know if I can hold it up without it.
I can show it.
Okay. All right. So there's his book. It's called Spiritual Transformation, 12 Steps to Freedom, Joy, and Your Highest Self. I recommend it highly. It's easy to read. It's not technical. It just is very well organized so that you can keep going and experience it yourself. So go ahead, tell them about your offer, please.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, everybody on this call can get this book for free. You have to just pay for the shipping. So the shipping will be $9.95. But other than the shipping, you get the book for free, which is still a very good deal. And this is a good foundation, because what we are trying to do is, I'm trying to help you think in a different way about spirituality. Most of us, when we think about spirituality, it's very outside, because it comes from outside. It comes from religion. It comes from a certain set of rules, right? True spirituality is within, because the spirit is within. The spirit is not outside. So this book will give you the foundational framework of how to think in a different manner. But I don't just stop there. I want to take you on a journey. And that's where these 12 steps come into play. Because the true power of spirituality is not just about meditation and yoga. It's about living a more effective life. That's the whole point of spirituality, which means you should be able to manage your finances, manage your health, manage your relationships. All of these are parts of spirituality. And that's why I wrote this book. So there'll be a link that will be posted here. If you go to that link, you'll see an offer to get the book for free. All you do is pay for shipping, and then you get the book. And then once you read the book, of course, you are welcome to join Children of Infinity. It's a closed community right now, because we want to, it's like a semester in college. We want to make sure people come together, they start on a journey. There are guided journeys that we offer. But once you read the book, you'll get the information on how to join this community. The other thing is, we also run these special weekends, like there's a energy healing weekend. We run some challenges, like there's a 7-day healing challenge, where for 7 days, every day there are a certain set of lessons and activations and energy. So once you buy this book, you will get on that email list where you can get access to these events, which are community events. So those of you who want to try this energetic meditation with Divine Mother, you'll get to experience it firsthand.
Yes. And I recommend it highly. I just was guided there, and now I love it. It's unique, but it just feels right. It feels peaceful and right. So, okay. So in our last minute and a half, what would be your vision for the world? I don't know, 5 years or something. If you created and met with leaders in the spiritual domain, how do you see the world looking at that point?
We are very disconnected at this point. If you look at our problems, they all come from this separation, which you can also call ego. It's one country against another country. It's one political party against another one. It's race, class, and all these things. And the problem with this is a very tribal way of living, where there's one tribe and another tribe, and they're constantly fighting. But there's a different way to live, and that is as one consciousness. That is the idea of unity consciousness, where each one of us has unique gifts. It's not like we become just like everybody else, but it's the true meaning of harmony. If you look at an orchestra, every instrument is different, and every instrument is playing something different. But still, the overall thing is harmonious because the notes are working together to create this beauty. And that's my vision, where leaders can come together, offer different ways for people to go to the next stage in their evolution. And with that one consciousness and having that mission of raising planetary consciousness, we can create lasting change.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for your courage, for stepping into where you were guided, for, not being afraid to, when you thought it might be weird, you did it anyway, and you embraced it. And just thank you for what you're doing for the world, for your community, for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you.
Thank you for watching this episode. I started getting real with Hilary when I discovered that I was a people-pleasing, pleasant phony and wanted to be more of my real self. We can grow together if you will like the show, subscribe to my channel, and share this episode with your friends and family so that we can have a world that's more real.